As you might be aware, in listening to this, I happen to love sports. Men's sports, women's sports, doesn't matter. I love sports. I think it's great for people to be involved in sports. And I am beside myself with this nonsense that all of these, I don't know what you want to call them, trans advocates. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the nomenclature is. This grand desire for men that are now pretending to be women. And yes, I'm going to say it. Okay. Look, okay. You're pretending to be a girl. You're pretending to be a woman. You will never, ever, 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 ever be one unless, and we'll get into that a little bit. So I find this woman vile. This Megan Rapinoe, she does an interview for Time magazine. Yeah, we got the Women's World Cup coming up, right? And she's got a problem with one of my favorite comedians, Dave Chappelle. She's got a problem with one of the greatest women's athletes I've ever seen, Martina Navratilova. And she's got a problem with ESPN reporter Sage Steele because of their opposition to transgender women playing in women's sports. I don't want to mince words about it. Dave Chappelle making jokes about trans people directly leads to violence, whether it's verbal or otherwise, against trans people. Shut up. What? Did you listen to his special? Did you listen to it? Oh, cracking jokes now. It leads to violence. Oh, yes. No more joking around, anybody. God forbid. Gee, I know. I crack jokes here all the time here on the podcast. Most of the time, I'm making fun of myself. Oh, it leads to violence. Shut up, Megan. When Martina or Sage, whoever are talking about this, people aren't hearing it just in the context of elite sports. They're saying, the rest of my life, this is how I'm going to treat trans people. Oh, yeah, that's it. I mean, does she honestly believe what she's saying? And the sad thing is that these reporters, they don't even challenge these absolutely ridiculous, ludicrous statements. Rapinoe continued to take issue with policies targeting transgender athletes. It's particularly frustrating when women's sports is weaponized. Oh boy, they love that word. They love weaponized. Oh, now we care about fairness? Now we care about women's sports? That's total bullshit. And show me all the trans people who are nefariously taking advantage of being trans in sports. It's just not happening. Yes, it freaking is. Yeah, we can give countless examples of this happening, Megan, and you know it. Caring about women's sports, yeah, women's sports are not nearly as popular as men's sports. Maybe tennis, okay? Maybe, but that's okay. Okay? That's okay. That's not the reason why you play sports. You learn from playing sports. You learn life lessons from playing sports. My daughter is going to be a college athlete. Do you think I want her on a lacrosse field going against a 225-pound man pretending to be a girl? No. And Megan, every single time it's tried, even the greatest women's tennis players ever, Martina was one of them, the Williams sisters. They got their ass kicked by like the 100 and something ranked male player in the world. And I've made this argument before, and nobody can seem to get their arms around it. Okay, let's just get rid of women's sports. You want to make it fair? You want to make it equitable? Everybody's about being equitable and fairness. Okay, you want it to be fluid as far as genders? Okay, we'll make sports fluid. Meaning what? There is no male, there is no female, there's just the sport. That's right. There's no WNBA. There's just the National Basketball Association. Do you think a single woman in the National Basketball Association would make it in the NBA? No, not one, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Our men's, I'm going to say our youth, U.S. I think it was U15 soccer team, beat our women's soccer team and kicked the shit out of them. They're children. Okay? There's a difference between men and women physically. Period. The end. Oh, I know they're taking hormone blockers. Shut up. I mean, I've seen these beasts. For crying out loud, we used to get pissed off out of it when the East Germans and the Romanians used to juice up their athletes back during the Cold War days, for crying out loud. Well, anyway, Meghan goes on and says she would have no problem accepting a transgender woman on the team, unless, of course, that transgender woman guy takes your spot. Yeah, absolutely, she said about the U.S. women's soccer team having a transgender player. This is what she says. She says, you're taking a real woman's place. That's part of the argument that's still extremely transphobic. No, it's not transphobic. It is what it is. And then she goes on. She says, I see trans women as real women. No, they're flipping not, Meghan, and they never will be. They never will be. You know what popped into my mind? Pinocchio. Do all you people you want to switch gender, do you guys like pray for the blue fairy, for Pinocchio to come down? I want to be a real girl. I want to be a real man. Are you kidding me? It's never going to happen. Never, ever, 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 ever. Okay, you want to pretend to be a girl? I don't care. Never had. I don't care. Do what you want to do. Okay, but if you're a guy, okay, we'll go kindergarten cop. Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. It's real simple. WatchDog on WallStreet.com.